Tomorrow, I will sign a statewide shelter-in-place order, which will go into effect on Friday and run through April 13, 2020. This date is in line with our public health emergency order. Dr. Toomey and I will continue to work day and night to finalize the order to make sure it keeps our citizens healthy and protected in every zip code across our state. We are taking action to protect our hospitals, to help our medical providers, and prepare for the patient surge that we know is coming. This action will ensure uniformity across jurisdictions for Georgia sheltering in place and help families and businesses be able to comply with its provisions. We will publish the order tomorrow and issue detailed guidance so Georgians can get prepared. We will continue, as I said, to monitor the data and make sure that we make adjustments as needed, keeping members of the public informed every step of the way.
Tonight in the fight against coronavirus, there is continued tension between the federal government and state governors bracing for a surge in cases and deaths over the next month. Meanwhile, Americans so far untouched by the virus are already suffering as they worry about how to pay their bills. Alice Barr is in Washington with the latest.
It's the first of the month in a once-in-a-lifetime crisis. And as millions of out-of-work Americans struggle to pay rent and bills, some are already turning to soup kitchens for help.
We've seen almost a doubling in the numbers of people that we've served.
The economic devastation only outmatched by the horrific human toll. U.S. deaths topping 4,500 today, with more than 200,000 cases confirmed.
I want every American to be prepared for the hard days that lie ahead.
The Trump administration now expects as many as 240,000 Americans to die in coming weeks. Staggering numbers experts say will be much higher if people don't follow guidelines to stay home.
The mitigation and social distancing clearly works. We need to put our foot on the accelerator and not on the brake.
But without a nationally mandated stay-home order, the response varies state to state. California and Washington now predicted to see fewer fatalities because they acted early, while more than a dozen governors still have not issued statewide orders. One of the largest, Florida, finally did today.
Even though there's a lot of places in Florida that have very low infection rates, it makes sense to make this move now.
State leaders also pleading for federal help with desperately needed medical equipment, saying states are having to bid against each other for life-saving supplies, driving up prices.
You will run out of staff before you will run out of beds. And you may run out of equipment before you run out of staff.
In the midst of the shortage, medical experts now considering advising regular Americans to wear makeshift protective face coverings while saving high-quality masks for the healthcare workers on the front lines.
And if you have any other questions about the emergency declaration or shelter-in-place orders for your county, you can find that information, as always, on 11alive.com. Up next, personal accounts from hundreds of Georgia nurses. They say hospitals don't have the supplies they need to handle coronavirus, especially if the number of cases continue to rise.
After yesterday's frontal system moved through, it ushered in some much cooler air, easy, breezy conditions in Rome right now. And they are in twilight time with the temperatures starting to drop. So coming up, how low the temps will go tonight and what you can expect for the weekend.
Weather advisory, hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover, more videos to discover.
He did it his way. You name it. And so the A scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. It's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed morning rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
yeah.
Jeff.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, Good guys didn't finish.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us.
And welcome back, everyone. I'm Jeff Hullinger, broadcasting from my home tonight. If you have not been around your television set or your iPhone and you have not been really looking at the information as far as what went on today, a lot of stories, a lot of local stories that will impact your lives and the lives of your family. Let's get you up to date on 3 stories that you may have missed today. First of all, we have new information on the ripple effect for Georgia colleges. The top 10 largest schools in Georgia could lose more than $180 million in revenue. That is according to our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle. Governor Kemp ordered all post-secondary schools to close for the rest of this semester to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And the pandemic is forcing Home Depot to make major changes. The company is now only allowing 100 customers inside a store at a time. Other customers will have to wait outside, and they will be encouraged to maintain social distance. The retailer is also asking employees to check their temperature before reporting to work.
And if we hold up our end of the bargain in America and we tell the story of who we are, then we will have a country that is prepared to serve for the next.
Stacey Abrams is calling on all Americans to take part in the 2020 census. Today, she spoke with the National Press Club in a virtual meeting. She reminded everyone of the importance of the count and how it decides how the government allocates $1.5 trillion in funds. The Census Bureau has suspended field operations because of the COVID-19 outbreak, but the self-response is available online right now. You can find more details on 11alive.com.
The family of a COVID-19 patient in the ICU right now is urging people who have recovered from the virus to step in and potentially help save lives. Caitlin Ross explains how the Red Cross is launching a new program using recovered patients' plasma.
He is an extraordinary man. Extraordinary man.
The Buller-Runwell family is close, and Aiken is its core.
My dad is really the greatest man that I know. He would bend over backwards for anyone.
He was diagnosed with COVID-19 March 23rd and has been in ICU ever since.
I believe the medical term is critically stable. Excuse me, my phone.
Sorry, I think the hospital's calling.
He's in isolation, and his family is desperate for every update.
But just understand that level of paranoia every time the phone rings, because we have to receive updates via phone.
Aiken is in a medically induced coma on a ventilator, and his family believes the hospital is doing everything they can to help him.
To actually fight this insidious war, it really has to be all hands on deck.
A new treatment just starting in the U.S. may be the answer to helping people recover faster. Aiken's daughter, Marenike, found hospitals in New York and Texas that were giving current patients plasma transfusions from patients who have recovered from COVID-19.
Every day what keeps me going is researching online and seeing what's working in other places. And
the Red Cross in Georgia has just started to work with the FDA to identify and screen potential donors.
Everything he does has always been above and beyond the call of duty. We know as a family that we have to do everything in our power, to help him, to get over this.
Well, if you want to learn more about the Red Cross's new program, look for a link in this story right now on 11alive.com. We have also gotten a lot of questions from you about whether it's safe to donate blood in general right now, and the answer is yes. If you'd like to read more, our verified team fact-checks claims that you may have seen floating around online at 11alive.com. We're also fact-checking other claims related to COVID-19 there as well.
Well, I'm meteorologist Samantha Moore, one of your 11 Alive storm trackers, and we all have our home studios up and running. So I have been tracking the storms yesterday and their effects on the pollen, because as that rain came through, right around 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain across most of the Atlanta metropolitan area, we saw our pollen counts down today. That alone, pollen count is down from where we were over the weekend. Of course, on Sunday, it was the second highest record level that we had of all time, second highest level. Looking out over the city of Rome, the sun has now set. We are in twilight time, and the temperature is going to be dropping pretty quickly as we head into the evening hours. Now, right now, Friday, getting into the weekend, we're in the upper 70s, slight chance of showers on Sunday into Monday with the clouds on the increase. And then we're in a springtime thunderstorm pattern at the beginning of next week, so a 40% chance of afternoon thunderstorms on our Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, Samantha, thank you. As we go to break, we're hearing from hundreds of nurses who say they do not have enough equipment to do their jobs to try to handle this pandemic, and they are sounding the alarm about trying to find some of these materials. More than 200 nurses responded to a survey from the Georgia Nurses Association, and even though 85% of them said their facility has a plan to handle COVID-19, 68% say they don't feel safe, they don't feel prepared. They wrote out their concerns for Cheryl Preheim, detailing what is happening in their hospitals.
Overwhelmingly, almost all the nurses talked about a shortage of protective gear, especially masks, forcing them to wear the same mask for hours, even days sometimes. Some of them worried about what will happen when their coworkers start to get more exhausted and more staff get sick. Some saying they have a plan for a small surge of cases, but they don't know what will happen if the numbers start to rise dramatically as predicted. A nurse we talked to says it's all taking a toll.
Our nurses are exhausted. They are scared. They all have families and loved ones that they know that they are going home to after they've been exposed to the virus, and they are very overwhelmed and stretched already as far as the workload.
More than 95% of the nurses in this survey say they have not even been tested for the virus, even though medical workers are supposed to get priority testing. Many nurses say they have asked. One wrote, even with some symptoms, I have not been tested.
That's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11 Alive.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary. Yeah, right. Well, reward would be
slimming down. Okay,
yes. Yeah, a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin.
Well,
even more beautiful skin, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11 Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time. The biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Block on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11 Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout-out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.